the father suddenly realized that the homeless man by the roadside was his long-lost son, but strangely, he had no intention of approaching him. Even when he saw his son being bullied by security guards, he walked away without looking back. Why? Because his son, James, was a complete addict. He didn't want any ties with someone like that. But before he could walk far, James recognized him.
Dad?
He pretended not to hear and kept walking. Unexpectedly, James chased after him. With Christmas approaching, James hoped to go home and share a family meal. But before the father could respond, James's stepmother firmly rejected him. Her excuse? There's no room at the table. Of course, James knew it was just an excuse to keep him away. Perhaps feeling guilty, the father slipped $20 into his hand before leaving. It wasn't much, but it would cover a week's expenses. That evening, when James returned to his small flat, he found an orange cat waiting at his doorstep. Deciding to take it in, he named the cat Bob. At that moment, James had no idea how drastically Bob would change his life. The next day, James boarded his usual bus to head downtown and busk for a living. To his surprise, Bob had secretly followed him. The passengers were charmed by the adorable cat, who followed James's scent and quickly found him. James was startled by Bob's persistence, but luckily, the bus conductor didn't mind. In fact, the conductor kindly handed him a shoelace to use as a leash. Even so, Bob wasn't the easiest companion. As soon as they got off the bus, Bob darted through the bustling streets, dragging James along. To keep Bob calm, James carried him on his shoulders. Unexpectedly, this quirky pairing immediately caught everyone's attention. People started approaching James, greeting him, and chatting with him.